Hello, all across the internet. Yes, I am doing a live video. Annie P. Ruggles here. I'm on video and I'm live and I'm using a new platform for the very first time. So we will see what happens here. And if you are joining us, thank you so much for coming on this crazy, wonderful, amazing adventure on this absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous April day. So I'm going to wait to see. Yay! Hooray! I'm not going to wait to see because it says that I am live right now on LinkedIn, which is all I've ever wanted to be. So if you are watching this, LinkedIn user says love, love, love. But who is LinkedIn user? Dare I say? Well, thank you for your love, love, love. I'm going to have to turn on my phone to see who you are. So give me just a little sec. Hi, y'all. Okay. I am getting used to this platform, as I have just said. Oh, there's so many of you. And I can't see who you are. So just give me 1 second to pop over to LinkedIn so that I can greet you all properly, my beloveds. Up, it's Seth. Seth, baby. Seth, I love seeing you. I love hearing you. Y'all, do y'all know Seth Goldstein? I promised you informal networking. And if you do not know Seth Goldstein, you need to. Amazing podcaster, even better advocate. Look him up. If you're on LinkedIn, just click the thread, add him. He'd love to hear you. Let's see. Let me go to my comments and not hear myself talk. Hi, y'all. Look at all these fabulous, fabulouses. Oh, hey, RevCat Webb is here. RevCat is one of my pals from CFNI, an incredible celebrant all across the life cycle. Welcome, welcome, Cat. Seth is saying, party whoop whoop, let's do this. Yes, absolutely. And Seth is known because of the FOA. I love this. I wish it was showing me comments in real time, but you know what? Just know that I love you and that I'll be right there. Um, I also okay, sorry. I'm getting distracted from my own wonders. All right. FOA, FTW, absolutely 1 zillion percent true. For those of you who do not know, FOA stands for Friend of Annie, which is a culty term that I am learning to embrace, created by the incredible Deb Eckerling, who is my champion and is here, advocating for herself. And I love that y'all are here. I really wish it would tell me who's talking to me. But you know what, guys, gals, folks, we'll get there. So thank you for all your love. Because it's not telling me, I know it'll look really dorky on LinkedIn, but if you're watching this and you wouldn't mind, I love being your leader. Yes, I am the A of the FOA, the world's most accidental LinkedIn cult. But as such, if you're commenting, let me know who you are. I will get to the comments after for sure, but it's not showing me in real time who you are. So just be like Annie here or Seth here or Deb here, like you have been. That would be freaking awesome. And I am so glad to see the FOA out in full force so I can share this very big, very weird news with all of you, which also gives me a great excuse to name something after a Britney Spears reference. Whoop, whoop. So, yes, oops. I rebranded again. The Non Sleazy Sales Academy is not dead, but it is changing. And I wanted to hop on here, A, because I miss y'all, B, because I knew I'd get a lot of questions. Famously, Danielle Weil, my beloved copywriter friend from Israel, sent me a message on LinkedIn Messenger that said, "Did you rebrand and not tell me?" I was all mad about it. And yes, I rebranded and didn't tell almost anybody. I want to use this as a teachable moment for all of us as I, a marketing and salesperson, navigate this yet again rebrand in case it's helpful. And I want to thank some very influential people who helped me and really kind of kicked me out of the nest of making this decision. So, oh, my cousin Mary Nisi is here. If you are in the Chicagoland area and you need an incredible DJ, you need to find Mary Nisi. And if you're not in the Chicagoland area and you just want to listen to an unapologetically kick-ass podcast for women business owners, you need to find Mary's podcast, All Up in My Lady Business. It is phenomenal. Mary is no nonsense. We had COVID together. We were cousins and now we're sisters. But we'll talk about that in just a sec. Okay, gang. So, how the heck did this happen? And is the Non Sleazy Sales Academy dead? No. No, it's not dead at all. But here's how this happened. And Mary, I love that you're here for this because you're a big part of this story. So, the Non Sleazy Sales Academy was founded in 2019. And I'm not going to give you the whole extended history because you really don't care. But I think a little context is important. So, 2019, I had just come off of a pretty major public embarrassment in what was then my work fam. And it hurt me. It hurt me a lot. And how I chose to handle that, which I would not do again, but was valuable at the time, was to just completely go into hiding. And hiding, although painful, was a blessing because it gave me spaciousness to consider how I could best serve and what I also wanted. Right? What I also wanted. Laura's here. Laura, my golden standard, my client. Laura, folks, most incredible food coach. It's not just about food. Laura's here and she will tell you she has watched this transition from day one. Laura, I love that you're here. It is so important. And Nicole, I'll get to the retreat, baby cakes. I'll get there. But anyway, 2019, I go into hiding. I look at how I can best serve. And I start thinking, why aren't any of my clients, then the Idea Doula clients, making any freaking money? And I realized it's because all of us were focusing on this incredible marketing, but all of us were terrified to sell. So we were building great lead magnets and then getting people on sales calls and just being like, whoop, thanks so much. Have a nice day. Bye. Or we'd be like, you know what? My program is $2,000, but for you, how about 25 bucks? Right? That's what sales avoidance was. I didn't have that term for it yet, but that's what we were all actively living in at the time. And at the time, the Idea Doula was specializing on businesses that were not necessarily on the verge of death, but hadn't hit their traction yet. A lot of these businesses were relatively new. And not for nothing, I was relatively new too. Right? So back in my 2019 chrysalis of pain, I decided that what I would do is I would focus not only on marketing, because there were a lot of people in the marketing space at that time that I really loved and respected, but to focus on how beautiful people can sell beautifully, which became the Non Sleazy Sales Academy. And I have adored the Non Sleazy Sales Academy. When people read my bio, they stop and laugh 8 times out of 10. It's a very sticky brand. I love the images. They're 1950s inspired. My dog is so excited. She's going to bust through this curtain any second now. She's like, yes, please, mama, rebrand. Yes. Here we go, Ziggy. Right? But I loved it. And people loved to talk about it. And talk about it, they did. And talk about it, I sure did on like a gajillion podcasts, which comes up later. Right. And I started meeting clients, some that I had had before in other capacity, but some that just had that active sales avoidance and knew I need Annie to help me fix my sales language, fix my sales approaches, heal some sales baggage, undo some nasty practices I've been taught, and all of that. And it was great. And it still is great. But y'all, as sticky as the brand was, and as much of my focus on selling has been, the program that I put so much into and love so well and is such a big, huge part of my day to day has never sold how I wanted it to sell. And that stinks. It stinks. And I can blame myself all day for that. Or I can be honest that maybe me teaching sales is only one of the many, many things I could do. So this launch after launch, turnout after turnout, but delivering great consistent content and building a family with the clients I had week over week has been incredible. I just couldn't figure out why more folks weren't in there. And if I can't figure that out, we got a problem. So that's what was kicking away in the back of my mind. Fast forward to March 1st of this year. Mary Nisi and I are in gorgeous, incredible Sonoma, California, getting COVID. We didn't know then that we were getting COVID, but we were getting COVID. And both of us were attending, and I was attending, this must be said, because Mary encouraged me to apply to speak at this event. And I did apply, and I did speak at this event, and it was incredible. So thank you to both Michelle Loretta, founder of Be Sage, for the most beautiful, well thought out conference I have ever been to, and to my sister slash cousin slash advocate, Mary Nisi, for getting COVID with me in California. But I went and I offered one of my very favorite trainings, the 4 buyer types. And I love this work dearly. Yes, it applies to sales, but it also applies to things like management, hiring and firing, hiring, especially, marketing. How is it going to go into your marketing? How is it going to go into conflict resolution? And it goes on and on and on and on. So I noticed that the questions I was getting asked about at Be Sage were not really all that sales related. And yet here I am saying I'm the founder of the Non-Sleazy Sales Academy, and that's it. And that's it. And that started to eat at me. So then I had COVID for a month. The Paxlovid rebound is real. I have no immune system because of my autoimmune disease. And so I took Paxlovid, thought I kicked COVID, got COVID again, thought I kicked COVID again, got COVID again, had COVID for 22 days. Another forced chrysalis, as it were. And I started thinking, Annie, your podcast, Too Legitimate to Quit, Instantly Actionable Small Business Strategies with a Pop Culture Spin, doesn't always have all that much to do with sales. And not for nothing, I've met a ton of incredible people in the ethical sales space. People like Larry Levine of Selling from the Heart. People like Finka Jerkovic of Sell from Love. I think, yeah, I got those right. Alicia Barr and Sarah Walton, my Sanderson sisters of Non-Sleazy Selling. I didn't have them yet. I'm ready to release those reins a bit. My podcast doesn't have all that much to do with selling. And then the biggest example that I wouldn't let myself see is I launched this magical book. That's right. The Coach Who Would Not Sell, the strategy novella and workbook. Ugh, isn't she gorgeous? I wrote this book specifically to sell into that program I mentioned before. I wrote this book because I sat down to write a sales book and couldn't do it. So a novella found out and we rolled with it, much with the help of my developmental editor, Deb Eckerling, champion of this book. I wrote a sales book and a whole sales funnel to fill a sales program. And because the universe is hilarious and we never really know how marketing is going to hit, even of us who are, dyed in the wool marketers of over a decade, we don't know. So here's what happened with this book. Bestseller? Yep. Awesome. Thanks, y'all. Send it to my friends. They sent it all around everywhere. We got it done. Sales book. Sales book. I have yet to sell one seat into my sales program with the sales book. That being said, I have already made almost as much money in consulting in Q1 as this year as I did in consulting all last year. Why? Because people are seeing this book and going, what a weird funnel. She's really out there. She's really owning it. I want a weird funnel too. Or what a refreshing approach. I want a refreshing approach. Maybe I should have Annie write my dang marketing with me or plan my dang funnels with me. So this was bothering me. I loved it. It was hitting, but I was resisting the evidence that was all around me. That calling myself the director of, or the founder of, or the dean of, or the whatever of the Non-Sleazy Sales Academy was not enough. So, what am I going to call this thing? Haha, the brand that almost was. So, Ryan and I, my husband Ryan, Hobbit, king of my heart, we're sitting around, maybe smoking a little weed, which is legal in Chicago, so don't at me. And we were thinking about a question that my mentor, my work partner, my employer, my dear friend, my advocate, Chris DeGrasso, who made literally all of the jewelry that I'm wearing right now. Chris asked me a question. She said, Annie, what's the cross section of you? What's the cross section of you? What do people come to you for? And I thought they come to me for strategy and they come to me for enthusiasm. Those two things, strategy and enthusiasm. And I was talking to Ryan, and so we were like, oh, What about strategic glee? Yeah, that's it. Strategic glee. It kind of sounds like strategically. It's clever. It's not that unclear, but glee's kind of fun. It's got a little bit of a musical theater connotation to it. Yeah. Strategically. So then I was buying fonts and, doing all that fun side of rebranding where I'm like, ooh, let's pick new hex codes and fonts and picture myself saying it a million times and give myself a fancy title and all these other things. And I did that, and it felt pretty good until I started shopping it around to my advocates, to my work fam, to my family. And thankfully, I have a lot of support around me at all times, and they know that I welcome their feedback all the time. And so I went to my clients, and I'm going to tell you who they are because they were all freaking instrumental in this change. Lowry Olafson of Song Branding, he is a branding genius. He will be writing my theme song for my new brand, which I will be using everywhere. Lowry's on the call immediately. He did not hold back. He's like, no, no, no. That's not it. Amber Hawley of the Easily Distracted Therapist or Entrepreneur podcast, depending on which version of it you're listening to. If you know Amber, you know she doesn't hold back. She was also just like, I stand with Lowry. No. Then we throw Tina Muheim in there, Dr. Tina Muheim. She's also just like, meh, meh. Meh, meh, meh. Strategically, I don't know. I get it. And then Lowry said something really interesting. I explained it and I defended my choices and I explained the kind of double meaning of strategic glee. And Lowry said, well, you're selling me on it, which seemed like it would push me in the right direction. But instead, it pushed me out of the brand entirely. And here's why. I understand that as a personality-based brand and as a business of one and a army of contractors, that, Annie P. Ruggles really is my brand, that Anniepreneur really is my brand, but that doesn't have recognition beyond my name. And I realized that I have a referral-based, personality-driven business, and that cannot be denied, but also that's now. What if I wanna involve other people in this dream? How am I going to grow? What does that actually look like? And what Lowry said showed me. I'm relying on proximity-based selling now. I am selling to the FOA, to the people that love me, to the people that know me, and the people that know and love them. That's limiting my growth. If you have to explain the brand, it's just not clear enough. How do I go for something more clear? Now, fast forward. Fast forward to just a few short weeks ago, I finally get on the other side of COVID. Yay! And I go to, hands down, the best business accelerator of my life. And not just because I was co-moderating it. Hey. I'm talking about the Amplify Retreat by Krista Grasso. Oh my God. Now, I have very famously and very often said that every time I hang out with Krista, I make gigunda leaps like I feel like I'm flying, but I didn't really have that high expectations because I had clients in the room. I wanted to make sure we're getting big jumps. I was there as an extension of Krista's business. I wanted to make sure we were applying her own methods back to her. Right. And I was co facilitating some workshops. And so I didn't expect to just move heaven and earth, but that is not what happens when you hang out with your true and present work fam. That is not what happens. So I went to this retreat hot with the feedback of Lowry and Amber and Tina in my mind and of Deb Eckerling and her fabulous mom, my California mom, Arlene. And they were just like, no, we'll think of something else. Arlene does not mince words. She was just like, nope. Love you, Arlene. Love you, Deb. I had all this chatter in my head. And I was like, yeah, it's still strategically. It's still strategic. That's it. That's totally it. So I went to my mastermind sisters, Nicole Iacovone, Jen Koken, Anna Lybrand, Jordan Eads, and the incomparable Krista Grasso. And I said, what in the hell? Is it strategically? Is it this? Is it that? So I wrote a bunch of names on a Post-it and I passed them over. Nicole and Koken tore that sucker down within seconds. They said, no, that's not it. That's not it. When we look at you and everything we do, We see an element of quirk, but it's intentional quirk and it's magnetic quirk. And that's what you need to lean into. And that is how Quirk Works Consulting was born. So I have just name dropped a zillion people, but I need you to know that I'm not doing that for clicks and I'm not doing that to endear any of them to me. We already all say I love you when we get off the phone. Those people had my back. Not everything is feedback. I learned this when I was back at Polymathic and I would watch people spend $200,000 on a software product, get one piece of info from their cousin, and then come back and be like, throw it all out and start over. We're like, your cousin is a pharmacist. Why is he commenting on your golf app? What? What? Right? We would watch everyone throw it right out. No, that's not feedback. That's one person's opinion. But when the people that know you, that have been with you for a long time, that deeply understand both your heart and your value, if they know both and they tell you something's not right for you, you need to listen. So that is why, if you were paying extremely close attention on my LinkedIn, you saw that I dipped a toe into strategically because I wasn't ever that sure, changed my LinkedIn banner, and then just changed it again. So here are some lessons I've learned from rebranding that I want to make sure that I share with all of you because I resisted this change. And once I stopped resisting it, it fell into complete flow. Krista at the retreat introduced us all to this concept called Kriya, which is a yogic term, which is a combination of joy and flow. Once I chose QuirkWorks as my champion, once I chose not to sunset the Non Sleazy Sales Academy, but to make it a feature of QuirkWorks Consulting, just like my podcast and just like my personal brand. Once I realized I could do that, everything fell into place. My new offer suite, changing up how I'm going to deliver the Non Sleazy Sales Academy curriculum, whole new ways that I can serve, better ways I can unite my people, the FOA, with other people that can benefit from them. Because my brand is just me, but it's not only about me. I want to help people own their quirks in real time. So here are some lessons I've learned about branding. Number one, branding is not a rebranding is not a death, it's an evolution. When I started to rebrand, I felt like an unbelievably large quitter. I don't know why I felt that way. I knew that I was basing everything on sound marketing strategy. And then I did something interesting that paid off in a lot of different ways. It's hard to see because of the extreme ring lighting in here. But if I tilt it, you can sort of see that I've made this like paint chip color thing. This is a timeline of all of my iterations of self employment since Happiness Advocates and Whimsy Coaching way back in 2011. What this shows me is that I always rebrand every couple of years. I was beating myself up for doing what comes naturally and what has always come naturally, despite my success or focus. Every few years, I'm ready to level up. Rebranding is evolution, not destruction. If you need to give yourself permission to evolve, do it. Chase joy, chase Kriya, chase the flow. Number two, rebranding can be oddly cyclical. It brings back components that you may have lost years ago. I'm going back to having green be my predominant brand color, which has been a brand color in both Hungry Entrepreneurs and the Idea Doula, but was nowhere in the Non Sleazy Sales Academy brand, even though green has always been an important and powerful color for me. Go figure. I'm also using the tagline I wrote when I started the Idea Doula in 2016, shepherding acts of entrepreneurial gumption. What it used to say was shepherding acts of entrepreneurial gumption since 2011. Then once I got to 2016, I was like, oh, for over 5 years. Then once I got to 2021, it became, or no, sorry, once I got to 2019, it became almost a decade. Once I got to 2021, it became over a decade, which it still says to this moment. I am using stuff that mattered to me then. It has found new birth in my rebrand. I want to make sure that you know that sometimes when you sunset stuff and it's a little bit painful, it's okay. It comes back. It can all come back around. If it matters to you, it matters to them. A rebrand, here's the third thing. A rebrand has to keep in mind that you are growing. Like I said, strategically has to be explained, which keeps me in proximity by. We can't go that many iterations away from me, that many referrals or social shares away from me without someone getting confused like a game of telephone. It's got to be clear. Yes, it includes your name. It's QuirkWorks Consulting with Annie P. Ruggles, right? I'm still there. The Non Sleazy Sales Academy is still a subsidiary, but QuirkWorks makes sense. It shows what people get, it shows what people lean into, it shows who it's for. Okay. Here's another thing. If you have been in business long enough to have rebranded at least once, or if you are chewing on the possibility of your very first rebrand, you are not new in business. You are not new in business. Therefore, you need to lean in to joy. That's right. Your joy matters. The tagline, the working tagline of QuirkWorks is Founder Delight Matters. I read this book by the incredible Dr. Erin M. Baker, who I just freaking adore. Basically, my sibling that, I met on LinkedIn. Erin wrote this book, Joyful AF, The Essential Business Strategy We're Afraid to Put First. And let me tell you what, this book is a revolutionizer, even for me. People think, oh, Annie, you're so muppety, you're so joyful. That doesn't mean I knew I could lead with that. Strategically didn't hit quite right because I wasn't all that jazzed about it. I wasn't all that thrilled about it. This book got me to ask, why am I putting out stuff I'm not thrilled by? Right? Where'd it go? Oh, yeah. This book proves that Dr. Erin was right. This is my joy. My podcast is my joy. The Non Sleazy Sales Academy has joy in the curriculum, which is why I choose to teach it. But me saying I'm the founder of the Non Sleazy Sales Academy exclusively outran its joy. And that was important. The book is Joyful AF by Dr. Erin M. Baker, or Erin Baker, PhD. Go get it. It's incredible. It'll rock your socks. Then the old standard that I've been referring since before it came out, Hilda by Coach Jenny, my coach, came into play. This new brand is very quirky and Annie-centric. And as I disclosed at the very beginning, I have trauma that helped cause the Non Sleazy Sales Academy. I went into hiding. And that was because I felt unsafe as a personal brand. And what came out of that was incredible. It was the Non Sleazy Sales Academy, but the Non Sleazy Sales Academy was a bit of a hide for you know who. And it was starting to limit me. So when this new brand came up and I started to feel narcissistic and afraid, I relied on my mastermind sisters. I relied on the feedback I was getting, and I relied on this book, which is basically my Bible, Hilda by Coach Jenny, which answers questions like, who the heck are you to be doing this? Who the heck am I to be doing this? Is I am the best strategic listener turned marketer turned non-sleazy seller on this earth. No apologies. I do things quirky, I do things real, and that's how we do it. I'm leaning into that. I'm owning that. I'm honoring that. I'm not new. My business card will be telling you, I've been here since 2011, serving small businesses. If I'm encouraging my clients to live out loud as their personal brands, then I need to move heaven and earth to get out of my own way, as Jenny would say, so I can step into mine. Okay? Your rebrand will push your edge and set you free. It'll push your edge in that it'll be so important to you that, of course, Hilda, your inner self-saboteur is going to want to keep you quiet. Whoop! No, we can't do that. Oh, God, what if people don't like the colors? Oh, no, I'm getting weird feedback. Blah, blah, blah. That's because you're doing something that matters. That's because you're doing something that creates change for you and for others. It's going to be scary. It's a do it scared situation. But that's all the more reason to focus on joy, because if you focus on your joy, it will refuel you in between acts of terror. Quirkworks brings me joy. And even more, what brings me joy is my brand new offer suite. The Non Sleazy Sales Academy. I was asked at Chris's retreat, which I'm going to talk about 800,000 times. If you have not signed up to join a Chris DeGrasso retreat, I feel bad that you have to level up to your next level all alone, y'all. Our next one is called Reimagine. It's November 7 through 9. It's incredible. There's a photo shoot. We jump into our next level and then we'll jump into the ocean. It's going to be incredible. I digress. We'll talk about that plenty. Okay. But your rebrand will set you free if you let it, but it will also push your edge. And a rebrand is a celebration of the tenacity and resilience that has kept you in business. It is not a sign of failing. We are all consciously leveling up all the time. We are not new. This is not our first rodeo. Don't we deserve to feel even more proud of stuff that we're putting out? And if it's stale and it's falling flat on you, change it up. So my new offer suite, the Non Sleazy Sales Academy curriculum, is now going to be taught as a 2-day seminar. Cost effective. You're in, you're out. Get out there and make your money. Ring those beautiful, fabulous sales bells. And what I'm going to do is go back to my zone of genius where I focus best, which is running group calls and building community around incredible, quirky marketing and heart-centered selling. So I'm launching what I call Mod Mondays, which is Marketing on Demand Mondays, which is a fleet of calls all frickin' day Monday, literally all day. We only take 2 1-hour breaks that you pop in for a hot seat if you need strategic or situational support for your sales challenges that week, or if you need to have copy co-created with you, like pesky emails, your social posts, or any other thing, because what I wind up doing a lot on calls is writing. So I'm owning that, leaning into that. Plus, you'll have your little Monday motivation from me and some fabulous FOA brainstorm collaborations on the back end, because I happen to attract the very best people. And so that's coming soon. And that feels really good. Quirkworks also gives me the expansiveness to launch the new podcast that I've been hoping to launch that were not good direct pipelines into the Non Sleazy Sales Academy. Remember, when I tried to build a direct pipeline into the Non Sleazy Sales Academy, people wanted funnels. Sometimes you got to lean in. So yes, you will be hearing all about Mod Mondays, about the Non Sleazy Sales Academy 2-day seminar, about the new shows, about the upcoming episodes of Too Legitimate to Quit, about Chris's upcoming retreat, or what I'm doing as Chris's fractional CMO. You're going to hear a lot of these things, a lot more, because I'm coming back out of hiding. And this time, for the first time since 2011, I'm choosing what makes me happy, because I know my heart and I know my mind. And if I'm lit up, I light up the people around me. And when I'm at my most creative, my clients get the best results. So that's Oops, I Rebranded Again. I hope that this was not only enlightening about my process, but that it gave you permission to step into your next evolution if you're feeling it, or to remember that you can always rely on your work fam for support. I didn't go on LinkedIn and announce the whole brand and open it up for open feedback, but I did go to the people who know me, my heart, my value, and my work best and say, what do you think? And if every single person around you, except your adorable husband who loves everything you do, says, babe, that's not it, then maybe that's not it. I also could not have a live stream today without acknowledging that it is the birthday not only of the fabulous Michelle Elise Abraham, podcast advocate, fabulous guest, Back to the Future enthusiast, but it is also the birthday of OG number one, my conference work wife, Diane Wingert, the first person to sign up for an episode of Too Legitimate to Quit. Episode 1, my pure OG. on Authenticity, Drive, and Ren and Stimpy. So if you're looking for a great listen today, go listen to one of those 2 Birthday Gals episodes. They are incredible. I am constantly, continually humbled by the company I keep. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I really wish that I could see all the people talking to me on LinkedIn. I cannot wait to get into the comments. If you're watching this, know that if you need something run by someone who cares about you, I'm known as the marketer who cares about you. All my clients will tell you, right? If you need somebody who cares to talk you through the rebrand, I'm just a DM away. If you're watching this on YouTube and we're not connected on LinkedIn, come on over. I'll save you a chat. Y'all are always welcome in the FOA, and you are always welcome at my table, especially if you're leaning into the joyful things that make you, you. Your clients' results matter, but no one around me doesn't know that. We all prioritize our clients over ourselves. So, with my rebrand, I ask all of us to consider what happens if we equally prioritize ourselves. What glorious things might happen. So thank you times a million to everyone I mentioned in this video. I'm going to tag them below so you can go find them. They are brilliant, they are loving, they are generous, and they are badass, each and every one. If you're looking to spend some money, look no further than my merry band of incredible weirdos. And until next time, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for your deep support of me and all my weird wonders. I am so excited to see what's next for me and for all of you. Yay! I love y'all. Bye now. I don't know how to stop. Oh, I figured it out.